All the way from Tokyo, Japan to Toronto, here's another episode of Binder Blunder. How you doing, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Binder Blunders. In this episode, we are going to be talking about how to make money in this game. Ish.
And how to plan ahead.
So it all starts out with an idea. An idea that a card is good. Somehow, somewhere, eventually, it's going to become good. In some cases, you're right. In some cases, you get this trap card that was about $5 that people start to see potential in. Slowly turns to $50.
He's talking about Fiendish Chain. It goes from being nothing to $50. Why? Because some guy played it in his deck and topped a YCS with it.
People like net decking. And let's face it, if it's an older card, it's hard to get. It's supply and demand, people. It's not a new set where you can just go buy a box and probably pull it. It's something that's completely and utterly out of reach because even Konami's not printing it.
When is the right time to put that money forward and buy these expensive cards? Should you just wait for a reprint? Or should you jump on the bandwagon and play those cards too? Well, that's up to you and whether or not you think you're making the right choice.
The next thing that you have to realize is when you have to unload. You've now managed to take all these in. When is the good time to get rid of them all? When is the good time to say goodbye to your mountains of those cards and make a profit before it becomes reprinted in Epic Dawn and a structure deck and so many reprints.
So on that note, Max C comes to mind. Max C does not have a for sure reprint planned, but it's older than Tour Guide. Tour Guide's getting a reprint.
Is it a matter of time? Why are people getting rid of it so quickly now? Is there something that they know that we don't?
These are things you have to worry about and think about. Same with the Pot of Duality situation. Everyone was valuing the Pot of Duality as 120, 150 depending. And then the reprinting got announced. $40.
Let's face it, secrets right now go pretty much 30. Maybe 40 if you're lucky and you find somebody who actually wants to pimp out their decks with Pot of Dualities, which aren't really being played right now. It's too slow. You also have to realize what other places are playing. Eventually we'll catch on. Eventually we'll get the same cards that they have and possibly play the same kind of deck. Once priority goes, all those cards with priority on them, down in value they go.
Or, if we never lose priority, keep that in mind, because maybe you should be holding on to those cards that retain priority. It's a guessing game, and you make the right guesses and the most educated versions of those guesses, you'll probably benefit well.
One thing that you technically can do is you can enter a bandwagon late. I mean, Tour Guides went from 20 to 40 to 60, stayed at 60 for a good week, and then blasted up to about $1.50. So you could have technically gotten onto the bandwagon later and picked them up for 60, 80 and still made a hefty profit. Watching other people who are already well-versed in the game is a good idea. Let's face it, nothing extremely jumps up in price very, very quickly. It tends to taper off at a certain point. So what we're seeing with like Mystic Piper, yeah, it went from 15 to 30. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to go up to about 50 before it tapers off.
I'm pretty sure it's going to stay around $30 because, no offense, it was a one-hit wonder. And the second we get Card D, everyone's going to forget about Mystic Piper and not give a crap.
It is true. That is a good card.
Horrible thing, though, is Card D is going to be a secret rare. It's going to be one of 8 that are probably good in this set that's coming up.
So let's get the videos out of the way and start complaining about cards prices now.
Yeah, it's easily going to be a $150 card. Easily. You're going to need 3 of them, just like Tour Guide. It's going to be a staple in every deck, just like Tour Guide. Why won't it be $150?
It's worse than Tour Guide, because you can run it in literally everything.
Even decks that you didn't even think of before. In the OCG right now, people are winning and topping with Final Countdown. Why? Because they have Card D.
It is gross, and it is a extremely gross card.
So this is stuff you have to worry about, think about. So take a look at the cards that you have at home. What's going to be that next sleeper card? Do you have a new Jellin Duo? Do you have a drag down to the grave type card that no one's been playing or looking at? Maybe you do.
Well, fill us in the comment section down below.
Because we all want an edge, right? So help everyone out.
And most importantly, don't make those minor blunders. Thanks.